Hi, I am Pure White Shadow of Albeco Bento Productions /Inc. on YouTube. I am here today to talk to you about cosplay. I get a lot of questions and a lot of comments about my cosplays from people who I work with / go to my school, and a lot of them are about, wow, cosplay is so fantastic. I want to cosplay. How do I cosplay? Which character should I be? I can't sew. And all sorts of other things like that. So, instead of getting frustrated at people whenever they ask me, what character should I cosplay? I've decided to show you how I go about the process of deciding on cosplay characters and making cosplay. Choosing cosplay, for me, kind of goes something like this. Dude, this guy's costume is freaking awesome! He's so cool! I mean, he's fighting for a dead girl. And he has an awesome horse. Come here. Where is it? Where is it? Oh, there it is. Oh, crap! No. Yeah, aggro. Get up, Wanda. He's ready to charge. It does it. I'm cosplaying as Wander from Shadow of the Colossus. So for Wander, I'm going to do research. Go online, find some pictures, and you know, check out what I actually need to do. This is a pretty good picture of Wander. It shows me everything that I need. So, I need a headband. There's a light stitching and a dark stitching. These little wrist thingamabobbers. There's a buckle right there. Buckle on his wrist thing that I didn't know about until I found this picture. Shin guards and sandals, or they're all just one sandally thing. I need to make a tunic. You can see with Wander's tunic that there's a little bar there of a different brown. So I need to do that. It shows these dark, you know, the other browns, which actually kind of look lighter in this picture, but whatever. And there's some designs on there, which I think I'm going to embroider on. Oh snap. Note there's also stitching here, which is pretty important. You can see Wander has some stitching along the side. Wander has stitching on the collar of his tunic. I need to make shorts. You can see that there's stitching along the sides and there. Some people cut those out, but I find that those are probably stitching. I need to make the tabard. This is the symbol on the Colossi, which is actually the same symbol that is on the front of his tabard. I need to make a belt. It actually shows his belt, which is made of a freaking glare. You know, it's made of 2 pieces, or 3 pieces technically, because it goes in that way in the front. I need to make wrappings to go underneath. I need to make arm wrappings. There's a picture of Wander's sword. You can see that it looks like a 2-hand sword here, which is, this is the picture that I use to measure mine. Another thing that is really good to do when you're trying to do a cosplay is looking at other people's cosplays. Duh. So going onto cosplay.com and trying to see what they did and what you can do differently. Look at this person. She did a fantastic job. Personally, I really hate her because she has such a pretty face and she's so pixie-like, and I am not. feel like she's gone really cartoony with a lot of the stuff. Like here, I think it's too big, it makes it look too cartoony. The bands look way too cartoony. But I'm not dissing her, no, because she's utterly fantastic, oh my gosh. Here's another cosplayer, and I have to show this picture to you because it's like, oh my god. I like what she's done here. I feel like the clothes are way too big for her, though. And she's also got that pixie-like face, and so depressed because I'm not pretty like that. I feel the shirt is just, she's like wearing a tent, and these shin guard things are huge on her. Her sword is magnificent, though. God, I'm so jealous of her. It's Wander. It's Wander in real life. Here's another person. This picture really threw me if it loads. God, she's so skinny. Look at her. Oh, and the face. The face. She just has the profile. Oh, I'm so jealous. So jealous. I actually very much like the way that she did everything here. It's really good. Because I'm just critiquing now. Just to find what I don't want to do, though. It's not because I'm hating all these people, because I'm not. They're fantastic. Oh my god. Her shin guard pieces are really thin. Other people make them too wide, hers are really thin. I think it looks fantastic. She actually balanced this out really well, I feel. I feel like this green is way too bright. But that is me. That is me. These are sort of things that I will be looking at to try not to do, or to try to do, like the way that tabard just, it looks like it's all one piece and not just applique on, which is, you know, always a frustrating thing to do, but oh gosh, it's so perfect. I love these cosplayers. I don't even know who they are, and they're gonna be like, why are you showing me on YouTube? But another thing that's really important for the cosplay is a wig. You can have the same color hair and people won't pay as much attention to you because they know it's not a wig. Sadly. Sadly, that is the case, I find. Hopefully it doesn't get the same way with contact lenses, because there's no way I can afford those things. I mean, really, I'm going without contact lenses for Wander, and his eyes are blue, and my eyes are hazel. My eyes are going to be, like, yellowish when people are taking pictures of me outside. Which I think is kind of awesome, but that's besides the point. So, wig time. Zoom in. He has, you know, bangs, which are good, and the hair that's here. This is actually perfect for me because I have my widow's peak, which is lovely, and you can't hide that when you have a character who doesn't have bangs. Oh, look at that. What is that there? That is a wig that can perfectly be styled. You just have to get it in the right color. And there you have it. Find a wig. Go onto cosplay.com and go into their wig section, and it's perfect. There are other places that you can look. eBay. A wig store, like a Halloween store that has wigs. You've done your research, you figure out what you need to do. For Wander, I need to have a tunic and I need to have shorts. Those are the two that I'm going to focus on when I go to find patterns. You can go to Joann Fabrics or whatever, like, store that you have nearby that sells patterns, and look through their pattern books and find patterns that actually kind of sort of match. And from there, you can actually just modify the pattern. I can probably modify the tunic pattern or just BS it completely and be fine on my own. Shorts are going to be a little bit more difficult because you have to fit them correctly. Since I was planning for this in advance for 3 years, I already have the patterns, but I'm going to show you the pattern section that my family has kind of just grown over the ages. We have our own collection. So, let's go, and then I'll pretend to find something. So this is the bin section that is just filled with patterns. And what do you know? There's the tunic pattern. This I can modify to make the one that I need. And look at that. It's a simplicity pattern. It is 4135, and it has the perfect shorts for Wander right there. That would be, you know, shorts pattern C. Okay, so I have my fabric that I picked out 3 years ago. Now, for Wander, I would actually kind of put him ancient European. A lot of people see the tabard and are like, oh my gosh, the Aztec era, and it's not really. If you actually look at stuff from the Eco game, my favorite game in the world. No, if you look from the predecessor game, which is Eco, you can look at the tombs, the sarcophagi in the sacrifice room. I don't even know what it's called. And on those there are pictograms, which if you search up petroglyphs in like Sweden, you will find very similar looking images. So I'm looking at it, I'm thinking, oh, that's perfect. It's a tangent. So, going with that he's an ancient race, linen is probably the best fabric to use. I mean, cotton is always good, but linen. It has a nicer weave pattern in it, and I'm going to show you it instead of focusing on my face. So, there's Picture of Wonder, and here's the fabrics. So this is for the base of the shirt. This is the tan. You can see the weave. It's a very nice weave. You can actually feel it. It's so nice. I have a love affair with linen. Here's the lighter brown for the chest area and the sleeves. It also has a very nice weave texture. This is actually a linen rayon mix, but it still has a good weave showing. It's a remnant from Joann's. And they're probably gonna like cite me on YouTube for all of this. Like, why are you saying stuff about it? But it's just a brighter brown, which I'm gonna be using for the bands. So that's for the shirt. I can stop hiccuping over my words. And then here's for the green, the green shorts. Blah. Here's that sort of pine green, and this is the lime green for the bottom. There. It's not too bright. I feel that these match a bit better, but that's just me. It's all personal preference, really. Really, it's all personal preference. This is my unbleached muslin that I'm going to be using for the wrappings. This is the blue for the shin guards and the sandals and the headband and the little wrist thingies. And it's actually sort of a weird micro suede sort of thing. Kind of has like a crushed pattern into it, which is weird. But I bought this 3 years ago, so I'm gonna forgive my past self because I don't think it's really gonna be that crazy. For the scabbard and belt, I will be using this fake leather from Joann Fabrics. It is $30 some odd a yard. For Wander's tabard, I'm using this tissue linen because that was pretty much the only linen that they had at the store when I went to go get more. It's also a brown. It's a little bit of a different color than the two browns that I've already used. For the blue on the tabard, I'm going to be using this linen that I found in somebody's old collection of fabric. It's the upper sleeve, which is, you know, the only part of the sleeve that we need. This is the front. It is folded in half. There's the back. And this is actually, you have to cut 2 pieces of it. And here we have it. The new pieces put on top of the old ones. We made a piece for the top, a piece for the bottom. So the dark band ends underneath the armpit, which is what we've noticed in the picture. Here's the bottom of the front, there's the middle band, there's the top, and then here's the neckline, the neck piece, the front neck piece, and the front neck piece. So I'm doing that little thing so I can actually get my head in there and wear it properly. And then here's the back. This is how we modify patterns. So I'm doing shorts pattern C, and then I'm gonna figure out which pieces I actually need out of all of these. And it looks like I need 1 through 9, and the camera really can't focus right now. Oh, focus, 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 focused! It's focused! Yes! No, okay, so the pieces that I actually need, I've cut it out. And now that's all that's left for me to do is actually cut them out of the fabric. So I'm gonna have to lay the fabric out like so, and then cut the pattern. Here is the shirt. Yay! It's not yet hemmed. I need to hem the sleeves and hem the bottom, and then I need to do all the little stitchery-ness, but here it is. A sort of rounded collar. I did this around for the neck because I figured that was necessary. I know people do the band here, but I didn't want to do that. I'm not sure why. You may note that this is actually longer than it is in some of the pictures, but whatever. That's how big the armhole has to be. I could have done a cap sleeve, actually, thinking about it now. I could have done a cap sleeve like the, yeah, let me just push that right. Could have done a cap sleeve like the one I'm wearing right now. And that probably would have worked for that, to get the same look. But then again, I am not a character in a video game with digital joints. So this is here for now, and I think it's perfectly fine. This is still my first. It's the first attempt, and sometimes it takes multiple goes. These are the shorts. You can see the band. The band looks pretty good. I still need to put the hook and eye in there, and do the stitchery, because I'm not doing that weird. I look at those as more stitches rather than actual pieces. So trying to get Wander done by Anime Next is not quite working. But that's okay, because I get most of him done. So I won't be doing any embroidery. Half done embroidery on a mostly done costume is just kind of stupid looking. But he will look complete as everything else, because most people don't notice the symbols on his shirt or whatnot. These are one of the wooden dowels for the butt dangly thingies. I really don't know what they are. And I hit myself in the face. Cut them into 8-inch sections, pointy end going towards my eye. My sword is somewhere. I cut that out. That was, I took one of the pictures, a couple of the pictures of the sword that I had, and then I enlarged it, measured it, how it was printed out on the paper, and times it by 4, because that's what I had to do to get it the right width. And so it looks huge, which everybody says is a short sword. I would believe that. It's a one-handed sword, but really, in the one picture, it's obviously a two-handed sword. Accurate to scale. I just have to do all the miscellaneous stuff now. Leg wrappings, the sandals, the arm wrappings, the headband, tabard of doom. This fan is from the Steampunk World Fair. Shameless plug. There are 7 days? I don't know. There's a number of days until Anime Next. It is below 10. I have a face. This is the shirt. You know how I said I was going to embroider this? That's still gonna happen. Later. When I learn how to embroider. But it does match up at the sleeves very nicely. Looking at it, the colors could have actually been switched. But, you know, it's one of those things where you have to make a decision. Here are all of the X's. Nice little Xing cross stitch going on. And then we have the whip stitch on the sleeve. Whip stitched around down here, and I did not see any stitching here on the bottom hem in the game, but I may or may not add that later. Whip stitching around the collar. Alright, these are the shorts. Made from the pattern. Here's the thing, linen, or linen look, as I think this is, kind of likes to pill. So you're gonna have to take an anti-pill machine and go crazy. I did all of this hand stitching. Nice little crosses. Here is the blanket stitch on the bottom. You can see, this is my first time blanket stitching, okay? So you can kind of see where I screwed it up in places, like there. Like, what the hell? I think I reversed it at one point. I was like, wait, this is wrong. And then, like, fixed it later on. Goes in the, nice little inseam here. And goes up the side. I did keep the pockets in there because pockets are always good to have. They're functional for cosplay. And then, yeah, hooks and eyes. And there you have the shorts. And here is my pride and joy, the tabard. I actually printed out and enlarged a picture of the sigil. This is the front. You can see it, it looks so nice. I have the, like, the inch and a half or so of the binding. Really what I did here was double reverse applique. It's just blue fabric sandwiched in between these two pieces of brown. I drew out the pattern for the sigil. We top stitched through it. Then I cut out all of the blue pieces, all of, you know, all the brown that was there, cut out so you could see the blue. After cutting out the pieces, we went back over with a zigzag stitch. Focus, there you go. We went back over the top stitching with a zigzag stitch. It's kind of messy in certain places, but I'll fix that later. You can't really see it because the lighting sucks, but here we go. There are these brown pieces, lighter brown, the same brown as this bar in the shirt, over top of this brown here, that have been wondered on, and then zigzag stitched. And you've got that on the back as well. You've got it here, and here, and these pieces here. But the thing is what I was trying to go for with this is that it, from whatever angle you look at it, from above or from underneath, it actually does what it did in the game. And there is the tabard. And there you have it. Here is the headband with the light and the dark stitching. This is moleskin with interfacing in between it. It's a double layer of moleskin with interfacing. And then the little ties in the back are just moleskin. Here we have the sandals, flip-flops. These are a pair of sandals, size 10, 11 or something. These are from the dollar store. What we did here, popped the thing out and just recovered the sandals, the thong of it, with this with the blue, which is a moleskin. This is one of the wrist pieces. There's the little buckle that we noticed. Here's a little strap. Moleskin is really terrible to poke holes in and expect it to stay. It stretches like something terrible. And so I really should have done this with interfacing in between the pieces, but I didn't. So it likes to move around a lot on my wrist. So here we are. This is the shin guard. I measured on my leg where things should be. I decided to make it so that it ties and then also uses D-rings. You can see them here, D-rings. There are 4 places where it uses the D-rings and 4 little straps. And then these long pieces are the crisscrosses in the back of the leg on Wonder, and they're pretty long. But they start at slight of an angle, you know, and then they wrap and tie around the foot at the bottom And then in conjunction with the sandal, it looks like it's one whole piece. Most people could not tell that it was actually two different pieces. This is for one arm, this is for a leg. There are 2 yards of unbleached muslin sewn together in a strap that's about an inch or so wide. There are 5 yards on this piece. It goes around the leg, around the foot, all the way up to under the knee. I happen to be about 6 feet tall, so that's how much I would need. I also have not very muscled legs. I found that I had a problem with the armbands, because while the leg wrappings have the shin guards to hold them in place, the arm wrappings only have the armbands to hold them in place at one end. So we tried a couple of different things. A lot of people were like, oh, take bobby pins. And I'm like, yeah, that's a great idea. And it didn't really help that much. It helped a bit more, but it was still a constant readjusting thing. Here is the belt with the dangly thingies. These are made out of pine dowels, cut to 8 inches in length, hand carved. I chiseled off a bit of the top, sanded and randed down the bottoms, and then these red areas here, I actually took a hand grinder too and carved in the X's and then painted them red. These are all hand painted. These guys were actually, I used a paintbrush, a very fine tipped paintbrush to get them in there because it looks like that if you don't. And it doesn't look as cool as that. This is the belt. I put it around my hips to be worn and measured because if I put it at my waist, I would look too much like a girl, which is not what I'm going for because Wander is a man. So these are my little half circle thingies for holding the pieces in place. You can see that it does this in the game. If you do it with dowels, you will be called Wind Chime Butt. Apparently it happened to other Wander cosplayers. And it happened to me. This is the sword, and its scabbard. The scabbard is really crappily put together. I just sewed it, made it crazy. It really should have metal up here and metal at the tip. I used a leather thong cording to tie it to my belt. It does not work very well. The sword is made to scale. To scale if the hilt slash handguard is about 5.5 inches wide, which it looks like it should be. I mean, that's pretty good. Mine is a 2.5 hand. I use an electric planing tool, electric sanders. It's not as awesome as it could be, but it's still freaking win. I mean, for what I did, this is my first time making a wooden sword. Spray painted the entire thing black with a cheap black spray paint from the dollar store. I had to use painter's tape to get this black to stay while I painted on the silver. Silver was pooling weirdly there. It was fun. But overall it's pretty cool. I mean, it's impressive. I feel kind of awesome holding it. I did not trim the wig for Aminex because I really am kind of scared about trimming wigs. So I'm going to attempt to cut the bangs, because his bangs are not supposed to be this long. They're kind of supposed to be like more over here. So I have a razor comb that I got from the salon store, and I'm going to try to cut this wig. Attempt. Let's see how it works out. So this is Wander's wig trimmed. I actually think I did a pretty good job. I was a little bit worried about the bangs because I have that widow's peak. Shortened up the sides. This actually looks pretty kind of cool. I probably should trim the rest of the wig as well, but it is kind of a short wig and I don't want to take too much off. I don't like the flip that's going on. Oh. So I may or may not trim the rest of the wig, but it looks pretty good. So, entered the Hall Cosplay Contest for Friday, after being Snape in the morning, whatever. We'll wander around on Saturday, was in the Hall Cosplay Contest fashion show that came on after the masquerade. I heard my friends screaming. It was awesome. And guess what? I actually won the whole cosplay contest on my own.
Our best of Friday journeyman, we would like to present to Caitlin as Wanderer. I am one of the people who have known for Witch Time Book. Oh my god, Witch Time Book! There's embroidery up and down every piece on her, and she made the sandals herself. Alright, get off the stage.
Dear God, these things are huge. I mean, how can I fit onto this? Look at that. It says, yeah. Dude. No, so, now you have a tutorial. This is a tutorial on how to do cosplay, how to choose cosplay, how to make cosplay.